Hello, everybody. This is Love from Above with your Sibling Spirit Guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hey everyone, this is Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hey, everyone. On this podcast, we share channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters. Can you believe it? Mythical beings who really exist, and occasionally our ancestors. And boy, everybody's going to need to listen to this one because it's about how to connect to your heavenly guides. It's not just me. It's not just you, Brian. Everyone can connect. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good information to instead of just be focused on, you know, your day-to-day trivial life to be able to connect is the key, I think. So, but yeah, good information.
You know what? Here's what I think. I think it really turns your life into a miraculous stream of synchronicities and miracles and beautiful events. So, um, yeah, I mean, I'm just grateful every day for this beautiful life that I get to live. And it's, as we get into this, it's not because of me, it's because of all of those who work, to make my life better. So I'll start with the first message. Brian, I can't believe we're getting messages from the archangels. Can you? We're getting messages from the archangels.
Yeah, and they said they're around us all the time. So, since we asked for them to be a part of our life, they're present at our side all the time, but yeah, this is great message.
Yeah. So then this was a message from October 19th of 2024. They said, now we turn our attention to others who may want to create a connection with their heavenly brothers and sisters. How is this done? Prayer is the common way of communicating. However, this is often seen as a one-sided communication. Those that claim to be able to hear from the divine are castigated as derelicts or worse. They go on to say the key is finding the solution unique to your individual person. Notably, the sister creates a sensation of rocking backwards and forwards. The brother feels the heated pressure of another's presence. For others, it may be the tingling of a bell or hearing a repeated phrase. So I want to stop there. Do you want to talk about how you feel the heated presence of the other and I'll go into how I know that it's time to receive a message.
Yeah, so the pressure, it's more like a tingling. I would say pressure, but I feel like um, in the crown chakra at the top of my head, when I feel another's presence, like we've talked about it at, let's say a funeral, and you're at the mass that you know, you can feel the energy of someone, as well as just it's more like on a daily basis. Like even I can feel it now as we're talking about it. So, um, but that's mine. But so it's interesting. So your rocking sensation that you always feel when people are connecting to you, I thought that was because like you thought it was on being on a ship, but it seems like it's something that is more internal to you as far as um the sensation, or what do you make of that?
Well, I never felt this rocking sensation until we started channeling. And when we started channeling, that's how I would know that it was time to connect, is I feel like literally I'm like on a little rowboat in a storm, like I'm rocking back and forth. And that's how I know. And it's interesting because I used to just feel that when I would feel the need to channel or when they wanted to channel with me, but now I feel it all the time. Like when I was preparing this podcast, I the whole time I'm like, oh, it's like I'm batted back and forth in a tiny rowboat on stormy seas. So it's interesting. And, different people have different marks. I know a friend of mine an old friend of mine, used to like smell like the scent of roses. And that's how she knew that, was someone's around her, they wanted to connect. So I don't know, whatever, if you're listening, whatever your unusual marker is, that's a sign that they're like, hey, we're here. Um, so do you want to go on with what they said next?
Yeah, sure. So it says, we call upon all, exclamation point. We are indiscriminatory with our attention. However, we do so love when the bond between one another can be formed. Um, so we liken ourselves to a lady in waiting. We are always attending to the primary personage, which in this case is you. You may call upon us for any task. We encourage more of a unilateral discussion where you can begrieve us with your worries. Um, and it says, and then you go on to talk about sort of begrieve is more like the word grieve. It's more of an older word, but we love to attend to all concerns. We give you the example of a personage speaking with their therapist and unloading their woes for the week. You should bestow on us the same gift. We can return these marvels into delightful uniform packages that will delight and inspire you. So that's great. That's a great message. I mean, unload all your concerns and anything to those above and let them, worry about it and figure out how to deal with it, right?
Yeah, and I just think it's more and more of a communication. So, I think both you and I have called on them, but it's like they want to hear more, 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 more. And so I've been doing that, and the results are, not only just more of a sense of peace and joy in my life, but also it is miraculous. Like everything just kind of works out. So, um, yeah. So I'll give you an example. The last time I flew, I've been flying, and I couldn't. I'm very particular. I always like to have the first seat in the bulkhead on the window, and I didn't have any seat assignments, and I was like, oh, angels, take care of this. I always like, I want to have a good seat. I want to have lots of leg room. I'm tall. I was upgraded to first class for free. Who Whoever gets upgraded to first class for free on an airline that you never flew on? I mean, I think I was on Junyao Airlines in China. So, it definitely works out.
Totally. I have so many instances of this. I'm always pointing those out to my wife. It's like, yeah, I I asked for this and this is what happened. Just even, sometimes little things, but um I totally agree with you. So it's exciting, but it's almost you can get sort of complacent. It happens so much, but you got to remember to always, no matter what's going on, to share and ask for help from those above, because that's really what they're there for. And I know we've mentioned that before, but like they said, you may call upon us for any task. So, no matter how trivial, even I do this all the time where sometimes something's missing or something, help me find this, so no matter, there's no task too trivial for those above to help.
Yeah, and so then we'll go on. Not only do we need to ask, but it's important to form this bond because topic number two is nothing is created without divine intervention. So they go on to say that what you can see, meaning me, anyone can see. So anyone can be psychic, anyone can communicate with those above, below, and beyond. The light that shines dimly in a few eyes can be augmented through this relegated procedure. How to begin? The process begins not in the mind, but above it. For there is no task that can be completed by humans alone. This is why we are ever present as the forces of light. For no creation is done without this universal application of the one creator's love. We tap, tap, tap on your forehead with awakening knowledge for you and your beloved brother. So yeah, nothing can be done by humans alone. And Brian, I don't know if I've talked about this, but I've been having so many train dreams. And yeah, you're a passenger on the train. You don't drive the train. You know? You're
Yeah.
supposed to take the scenery. You're not, that's what you're not, you're not the train engineer. You're sitting in the, and yeah, so I think that that is applicable here.
And we've read so many different biographies of famous people, famous musical artists, different artists in general. And it's interesting. The one thing they have is they're all connected. They're connected. I mean, not to take anything away from them, but their inspiration is coming from divine intervention. Exactly. So, you know, it's it's so key. It's just don't you agree? I mean, we've read so many things where we've heard this exact same thing. So it's good to hear this, but it's just it's very powerful.
Yeah, and it's not only artists. I remember reading about Edison, and that he would connect with the divine, and that's how he, these sources of information. Tesla is another one, I mean, this information was not coming from them alone, it was gifted to them. So yeah, I mean, it really is a co-creation. And that's why I think we've talked about this too in the past, like people put angels on a pedestal, and it's like, no, we are important partners with our angelic and heavenly brothers and sisters. We need to be part of this, and we need to work together. So yeah, do you want to continue with what they said
Yeah.
next?
So, yeah. So so then they said you may so it goes on to say the willingness to receive is an important qualification. So we submit the ever-present case that nothing is created without the universal help of those augmented life forces. It's like as if you were trying to drive in a darkened tunnel. Yes, you could proceed ahead, but without lights, without the guidance of previous travelers who've erected signs and the light to light your way, the path would be generally difficult to surmount. In this way, we say once again to humans, relax. I love it. For the journey is not alone, it's always shared with your divine brethren who eagerly anticipate your awakening so that the shared process is more easily attainable. All right. I love it. I love the analogy. Yeah, going through a tunnel without any lights, trying to drive through a tunnel. So that's a great analogy.
And they always give us the best analogies, that really help to explain something. So yeah, you could go forward in a darkened tunnel. You could do it, but it would be so much easier if you would ask for the lights to be turned on, ask for signs to be direct you, to ask for guidance. So, and I love how they say at the end that this is a shared process. Again, we're supposed to awaken and realize that we're supposed to work together with all of these beings to enrich their lives, enrich our lives. So, yeah, I'll go on to the last topic, which is the universal mind from Archangel Gabriel. Again, just stunned that we're hearing from Archangel Gabriel. I come forth as Gabriel. I create a haven for those who wish a respite from this busy world. How do you access what is available to all? Brian, I thought this was a brilliant analogy. He said, I provide an analogy. Say you log onto your computer and utilize just one site, though there are millions, no billions, and available for your personal endeavors. The same is true with access to the universal mind. By utilizing your own thoughts, you fail to access all that is available. Isn't that mind blowing, Brian?
Yeah, yeah, I could totally see that. People just get, caught up in your own mind, and they're just, looking at one single page instead of everything that's available to them. So that's a great analogy.
Yeah. So then he goes on to say, how do you connect to the universal presence? It is readily available for you. To access my voice, you have selected a channel within the universal mind. Many humans daily outside their realities, whether through a daydream, a dream, a film, or a solitary journey through one's own mind. These are as real as your holographic reality, which you view as substantive. So, isn't that interesting? A dream, a movie, watching a movie is as real as our own holographic realities. What do you think about that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you and I subscribe to that. We've sort of read other things about that, so we're trying not to, watch, scary or negative movies. And, we don't really watch a lot, but if I do, I try and watch, you know, positive documentaries and things like that, or, sports documentaries or something like that. Because, yeah, it is the same, exactly like they're saying. So you don't want to bring that type of negative thing on yourself, right? I mean, is I know you abide by those rules.
Yeah, so we for those to listen, Brian and I stopped watching anything, any movies or any programming after we went to the Dr. Joe workshops because he said, don't watch anything unless you want that to be in your reality. Because when you're in a movie theater, you actually go into trance. And so you're actually programming your mind. So unless you want that to happen in your life, don't watch it. And then recently, this has been my, total shift for me. Thoth came through to me and said, there's no watching of anything that is not spiritually advanced my soul. And I used to love to watch sports documentaries and keep up with football in the United States and F1 racing, strangely enough. But no, I am not allowed. And I've been a good person. I have been following what those said. So I've not watched. Now I'm literally not watching anything. Um, but those visual images are so strong. I find that especially if you watch them at night, like even if I was watching a sports documentary, it would affect my dreams. It would affect, the thoughts that were going in my head.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, that's exactly that. That's what they said. The universal mind is the ultimate destination. For there is that one feels the senses of completeness, fulfillment, and enduring love. If you were to knock on my door, I would only answer if I were physically present. However, everything is available at all times within the universality of creation. So that's a little deep, but what are your thoughts on that?
I love it. And I'm grateful for Archangel Gabriel for communicating that with us. So just a different thought to be able to go outside of yourself, not be stuck within your own thoughts and your own mind and connect to everything and everyone, whether they're in this holographic reality you're experience or beyond it. So, yeah, so I thought I would close. We try and close with a inspirational thought, but this I thought was funny. This was from the first session that we went over with the archangels. And Brian, because you listen to these channeling sessions a lot. A lot of times they're using words that I don't know, like "begrieve." I had to look up what that word meant. And I really struggled to put the sentence together where they were talking about the unified matters of principled reactions. Who the heck knows what that means? And I said to them, can you guys use simpler language? Is that possible? And in response, I heard riotous laughter from the angels. And they said, Most regale us with honorific adorations, but we shall accept the formality of your comment about us being guys. Of course, we share no dominant sex factor. So there's a little angelic humor. I guess no one calls the archangels, hey guys, can you come down here? And
You have
but that
to
looks,
you have to use the Texas term, y'all. Yeah,
I know,
gender
I know.
gender neutral.
I yeah, I have to use y'all. Hey y'all, come down here. So anyway, I thought that was a little bit of angelic humor. Any
Right.
last thoughts, brother?
Thanks for putting this. This like everyone. Hope that you're able to connect with those above and make everything happen for you in your life. So great topic, Maureen. So thanks again. Great talking to everyone. We'll talk next week.
Okay, thank you.